And now,
this is Jeremy Housewright of your Gate City Blue Devil football team, and you are listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
This is Michael Calhoun, speaking on behalf of the Gate City football and track team. We would like to thank you for listening to Gate City Sports Radio, home of the Blue Devils.
This is Luke Reed of the Gate City football, basketball, and soccer teams, and you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Go Big Blue.
This is Suzanne Moore of the Gate City Cross Country and Track teams, and you are listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. Let's go, Blue.
We are the Gate City Cheerleaders, and you're listening to the home of the Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be and however you may be listening to us. Thank you for making us a part of your Friday night. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio. I'm Joe Carter along with Chris Carr, and we're broadcasting to you live from Legion Field as we're sit here behind the press box, or not the press box, the scoreboard right next to the stadium as we're having the Alumni Appreciation Event hosted by the Big Blue Boosters Club. Again, of course, we've got the kickoff here for Wise Central at 7 o'clock. Here on the James River Advisors pregame show, we're going to have interviews with some of our Gate City alumni that are here tonight. We're going to have a breakdown of the Wise Central Gate City matchup. We'll go over the pick and panel picks, announce the starting lineups as we'll give you the previews and predictions from games from around Southwest Virginia and Upper East Tennessee. We'll also bring you live coverage of the game and then the Campus Drive-In halftime show and much, much more. So we'll be back in just about 2 minutes. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Dedicated to a lifetime of serving others, Maria Calabro continues her pledge to help the residents of Scott County as she is running to become supervisor in District 2 this November. Proudly calling Scott County home all of her life, Maria has studied, worked, and gained valuable experiences by helping not only those in our area, but all across the country and even the world. Maria looks to put her wealth of knowledge and experience to work for Scott County to build infrastructure, create jobs, and help make Scott County a better place to live, work, and raise a family. This November, the candidate in District 2 you need to know is Calabro. Please follow her on Facebook and support her in the general election. Paid for by Maria Supervisor.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
And we're back here live from Legion Field for senior night, parent night. It's a great night here at, again, Gate City. So Gate City taking on Y Central, a very important game coming up. Of course, right now we're underneath the Alumni Appreciation tent with some of the big blue boosters. We'll talk about that in a second here. But anyway, just want to bring in the man, the myth, the legend. He is Chris the Hammer Carr. How are you tonight, buddy?
Joe, I'm absolutely great. Big blue booster. Say that 3 times fast.
There you go. And we also want to say a big hello to someone helping us out tonight, our third member of our broadcast team. He is Mr. Emery Carter. Emery, how are you tonight, buddy?
I'm really good.
Of course, that's my boy. I always send a shout out to our number one fan, which will be helping us here on senior night. So we've got a lot to go over tonight. Of course, we always want to say thank you to our advertising partners and sponsors that's helped to make the 5th season of covering Big Blue Sports a reality. We always talk about Premier Pharmacy, La Coretta of Weber City, Broadwater Trading Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of Scott County, Weber City Drug, Christina Kilgore Wiggs of Conservis Real Estate Group, James River Advisors, again, that sponsors our pre- and post-game show. We've got Jeff Eads for Scott County Sheriff, Campus Drive-In, Delegate Terry Kilgore, Greg McMurray for Scott County Sheriff, M&P Repair, Maria Calabro for Scott County Supervisor, the Law Office of Jesse Walker McMurray, Nova Health and Rehab, Rex Carter for Washington County Sheriff, Elm Croft of Johnson City, Josh Bowling for the Scott County School Board, Chris Holder for Scott County Sheriff, and Jen's Delicious Delights. Do want to say thank you to each of them for their sponsorship of us, as Chris is going to start grabbing some people as they come through the crowd there.
Okay, Joe. I thought we might get Coach Fugit right off the bat, but I believe he's a little preoccupied getting the propane heaters going right now. Let's see what I can wander around and come up with. Oh, he just got himself freed up. You just saved me.
How we doing?
We are doing fantastic. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you got going on tonight?
We got tables set up, tents set up. We got people over here doing low country boil. We got hot dogs cooking. Got 2 cakes here on the table, water, coffee, hot chocolate made. We're going to be good.
And more importantly, I think a lot of people have noticed you've got the ping pong balls, getting them all ready.
Yeah, the girls are counting the ping pong balls. And I see a couple of old guys over here. One boy, Joe Anderson, right there. I played Little League baseball with him.
Try not to make eye contact.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to come over here with us right now. You know, this is really the first football weather it seems like we've had this year.
It is.
We were kind of joking. We've been standing out in the sunlight any other week except for tonight. We would have been over here in the shade on purpose. But should be a great night, and people are starting to roll in. We appreciate what you all are doing here. Got some kind of a pretty good turnout working up right here, and looks like there's going to be plenty of food. You said Wednesday night, was it Food City helped you out on that?
Food City and Melinda Sally, she's helped us with all of our chips and buns and hot dogs and everything, so we're good.
Okay, all right. Joe, you got something you want to add?
No. Well, I just want to say thank you again to the Big Blue Boosters for not only doing this, but they've actually set up a booth or at the table.
Yes, there's a tip jar. There's a tip jar for the Big Blue Sports Radio down at where the girls are taking up money for the tickets.
So we appreciate that. Again, that will offset broadcasting fees so we appreciate that very, very much. So as we've got more Big Blues coming through here, Coach, thank you. We'll let you get back to it, and like I said, we'll grab some others here in just a few minutes. But as we go through and we get ready for a big night of action, we talk about the playoffs. As of tonight, as we take a look at the VHSL PowerPoint rankings, Ridgeview is the number 1 seed. They are at Pikeville, Kentucky. Again, that ball game is scheduled to start at 7:30. Union, the number 2 seed, is at Abington. You've got Graham, which is the 3 seed currently, at Fort Chiswell. Richlands is at Lebanon. That is the matchup for the 4 seed. Then, of course, Y Central, number 5. Tazewell is number 6, and they are at home against Grundy. Gate City, of course, here at the number 7 spot. A win tonight could propel the Blue Devils up to the 6th seed, depending on what happens with Tazewell this week and next week. And, of course, a win over Y Central, huge in terms of PowerPoint rankings for Gate City. Marion is the 8th seed right now. John Battle hanging on to a prayer, if you will, to try to get into the playoffs. They're the number 9 seed. Virginia High, Lebanon, Lehigh, all have been eliminated from action. As Chris is already starting to bring some in. Who you got with you?
Well, I'll just let them introduce themselves. They're both got the Gate City basketball on. That should be a pretty good indication. Who have we got?
I'm Macy. And Riley.
And they're out here drumming up some business on their own. They asked if they could mention it, and I said they could say whatever they wanted to say. We're not under FCC guidelines. So, girls, I'll let you all explain what you're doing tonight.
To raise money for our team, we're selling signs, $1 for a sign and $2 for a car decal.
It's a pretty good deal. Where are you all set up at?
Down near the concession stand.
So when people first come in, they can get their popcorn, get their drinks, get them a sign, get them a decal, be good to go. So, girls, before you all leave, we always ask people predictions. What's going to be the score tonight?
I don't know about the score, but we're definitely going to win.
Score predictions?
20-0.
Who?
Us.
Oh, okay. 20. Just making sure.
And just getting ready for basketball season. How are practice or workouts? And you all officially begin coming up on the 11th. Is that right?
It is. We're doing really good. Everybody's really pumped.
So, make any predictions for basketball season?
I think we're going to be good.
What'd you say?
State title or bust?
Definitely state title, always.
All right, there you got it. Well, thank you, girls. We appreciate you stopping by. If you see anybody else, send them this way. Joe, it seems like everybody's trying to run away from me. Nobody's really wanting to talk a whole lot. So I'll let you finish up what you were saying, and I'll go find some more.
Okay, good deal. All right, so, again, a very, very important night here for the Virginia High School League. Again, 2 weeks left in the regular season. As we talked about, Virginia High, Lebanon, Lehigh, all have been eliminated. There's basically 9 teams vying for 8 spots in this game. Very, very important here at Legion Field. As we talk about the 1D grouping, we've got Patrick Henry and Chilhowie. They are 1 and 2. The winner of that game tonight, again, those two take on each other. If whoever wins that one, not only they win the Hoagie Higgy, but they will be the number 1 seed throughout the playoffs coming up. J.I. Burton is on a 6-game win streak. They are all the way up to number 3 seed. And, again, they've got a big matchup with Rye Cove and then Thomas Walker next week to close out the year. Thomas Walker, as mentioned, is the 4th seed. They fell from the number 2 to the 4 with that loss last week to Eastside. Castlewood is number 5. Eastside is 6. Holston is 7, and Honeacre is 8. Very, very important matchup tonight is Eastside and Holston battle. The winner of that game does assure themselves a playoff spot. For the loser, it's the outside looking in. Then the other teams that are trying to get into the playoff mix, Hurley, Royal Retreat, Grundy, Twin Springs, Rye Cove, Twin Valley, and Northwood. As of right now, Twin Valley and Northwood both have been eliminated from playoff contention. So, when we come back here, we'll break down Upper East Tennessee scores and predictions. And, again, we've got some more interviews coming through. So, again, sit back and relax. It's going to be a great night of Blue Devil action here on the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
With the qualifications we need for Scott County Sheriff, candidate Greg McMurray has the law enforcement experience and ideas that you can believe in. His philosophy is simple: focus on the issues. He believes in transparency within the Sheriff's Office, proper patrolling throughout the entire county, and developing innovative programs like he did while serving with the Bristol Police Department by establishing and developing the Community Police Program. Greg also has the needed experience in supervising large workforces and staffs as he did in the private sector. He is asking for your support this November to become the Scott County Sheriff we need now and into the future. Greg McMurray is a lifelong resident of Scott County and thanks you in advance for your support this fall. Paid for by Greg McMurray Sheriff.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
And we're back at Legion Field. We got a couple of veterans here with us, some Gate City alumni. Gentlemen, what are your names?
Johnny Sanders.
Jim Roberts.
And what year did you guys graduate?
77.
77, was on the 74 state championship team.
I was 4 years old at that time. But, guys, what's your fondest memory of your time here at Legion Field?
Well, of course, winning the state championship is hard to top, but winning the back-to-back my junior and senior year homecoming games against Graham and Tazewell.
Yeah, the same for me.
Okay, well, this year the Gate City football team, they've kind of turned things around this year. Have you been to any games this year? If you have, what are your overall impressions of the team this year?
Been to all the home games this year and have seen steady improvement throughout the year. They're down in numbers some, but what they have seems to be playing real hard, and they're getting better every week.
No, I haven't been. This is my first game, but I hear that they're improving a lot, and everything's looking more like the old Blue Devils.
Well, tonight's a matchup with Wise Central. I guess that's a little bit after you guys, so we're talking about a combination of Powell Valley and Appalachia. Close enough? No, that's J.J. Kelly. Forgot about that one in there, too. There we go. Okay. So what's your predictions for tonight?
Gate City 35-21.
It's hard for me to say, but Gate City 21, Wise 10.
So far, 4 predictions. Everybody's picking the Blue Devils. We appreciate you guys coming by. And like I told you, your job now is you got to send 2 more people this way.
We'll see if we can round them up.
We appreciate that.
We can remember being over here.
Well, just head. If nobody else comes over, I'm just going to go over here to the food line and start sticking a microphone in people's faces.
There you go. All righty. So, again, starting to get a little bit packed here. Of course, senior night, all the senior parents are starting together for our cheerleaders and the football players here right next to us. So, a lot of things going on here right around us. And so we'll take a look at Northeast Tennessee really quick. Sullivan South is at Tennessee High tonight. The last time these clubs met, the